Okay, I'm just assuming that you guys are up to date with the whole theory that the Sphinx is not like 3,000 years old and that it is more like 10,000 years old, according to the work of John Anthony West and Robert Schoch and all of the geologists that helped to compile all of that information. Great, so we're all on board with the idea or the premise or the theory that the Sphinx is in fact actually a lot older. And I do believe that is so. The more I look into it and the more that I stand back and look at the whole ancient civilization theory as a whole, it makes so much sense. The Sphinx, which is on the Giza plateau, it's kind of on a causeway that it's going from the middle pyramid down to what geologists are saying used to be like a river. Like the Nile used to be able to come up to the front paw, where the front paws of the Sphinx were, and that's where people would come and kind of get off. So it was in the 90s, I believe, that Robert Schoch and John Anthony West and all those legends went to the Sphinx, and they started looking at the rock, and they started particularly looking at the geology of the rocks, and they started going, oh hey, this is weird. This looks like really old weathering, but not weathering that could come from anything else other than rain. Like nothing else can make these specific markings that we know of in scientific geology. And they went and they got this assessed by I think it was hundreds of professional geologists, and they showed them a photo of the Sphinx without showing them that it was the Sphinx. And they said, what is this to you? And they were like, that's thousands of years of precipitation, weathering, 100%. And then when they showed them like the zoomed out and they showed them that it was actually the Sphinx, everybody got really nervous to say that, because they were like, oh no, that goes against the timeline that we have of human history. So no, maybe I was wrong. Like, no, I retract. So they went on this campaign to try and change the timeline and say that maybe the Sphinx is in fact older than it was. It is so obvious when you see the Sphinx in person that the head has been recarved. It's tiny. It is this tiny little head on this huge body of a cat or a lion or some sort of feminine feline. Some people think that it's a dog. Like, I have a dog. The paws and the tail, it's a cat. It doesn't look like a dog. The tail is way too long for a dog, and the paws are like feline paws. They're not like dog paws. I personally believe that it is a lion. The thing that really kind of got me to go, okay, I think it's definitely a lot older than we think it is, was because the fact they looked at the stars. You can go and put into oh, I'm just excited. There is a computer system somewhere, there's like software that you can put a specific date in time, and it will show you the stars from a particular location and a date and time in the world. So you can say Giza Plateau, 10,500 BC, and it will show you what the stars are around that particular time. And the Sphinx lines up exactly with the constellation of Leo.